When Daniel Brooks received the wedding invitation, he laughed. Not because it was funny. Because it was obvious. Painfully obvious. The invitation wasn't really an invitation. It was a message. A reminder. A victory lap. A carefully wrapped attempt at humiliation. And his ex-wife wasn't even trying to hide it. The envelope arrived on a Tuesday afternoon. Elegant. Expensive. Gold lettering. The kind of invitation designed to announce success before you even opened it. Daniel already knew who it was from. Melissa. His ex-wife. The woman who had left 6 years earlier. The woman who once told him, "You'll never be more than a mechanic." At the time, those words had hurt. A lot. Now? Not so much. Daniel opened the invitation. Then immediately spotted the detail. The wedding venue. A luxury resort. One of the most expensive in the state. Of course. Then he noticed something else. A handwritten note tucked inside. Not printed. Handwritten. Which somehow made it worse. It read, "I hope you'll come. It would be nice for everyone to see how life turned out for both of us." Daniel stared at the note. Then laughed again. Because subtlety had apparently left the building. Across the kitchen table, his 14-year-old daughter Emma looked up from homework. "What?" Daniel handed her the note. She read it. Twice. Then slowly lowered the paper. "Wow. Yep. That's rude. Also yep." Emma considered this. Then smiled. "Are we going?" Daniel nearly choked on his coffee. "We? Obviously. No. Why not?" "Because it's her wedding." Emma folded her arms. Exactly. The look on her face suggested she already had a plan. That was rarely good news. Years earlier, Melissa had left believing she was escaping failure. Daniel owned a tiny repair shop back then. Bills were constant. Money was scarce. Dreams were uncertain. Meanwhile, Melissa wanted more. More luxury. More status. More certainty. Eventually she found someone who appeared to offer all three. A wealthy real estate developer named Grant Holloway. And she left. The divorce had been brutal. Daniel kept his dignity. Not much else. He moved into a small apartment. Worked longer hours. Raised Emma. And quietly rebuilt his life. What Melissa never learned was what happened next. Because while she was busy chasing appearances, Daniel was busy building something real. His repair shop became 3 locations. Then 8. Then a regional automotive service company. Then a national franchise. By year 6, he employed over 2,000 people. His company was worth hundreds of millions. Maybe more. Yet almost nobody knew. Because Daniel hated attention. Still drove a pickup truck. Still wore work boots. Still spent Saturdays in garages talking to mechanics. So when the invitation arrived, Melissa assumed she knew exactly what Daniel's life looked like. She was very wrong. The wedding day arrived. The resort sparkled. Luxury cars filled the parking lot. Guests wore designer suits and dresses. Everything screamed wealth. Exactly as intended. Then Daniel pulled up in his old pickup. The same one he'd driven for years. Valets exchanged confused looks. A few guests smirked. One even whispered, "Must be staff." Emma heard that. And immediately looked dangerous. Daniel grabbed her shoulder. "No. But. No." She sighed dramatically. Inside, things got worse. Melissa spotted them almost immediately. Her smile widened. Too much. The kind of smile people wear when they're enjoying themselves for the wrong reasons. Daniel. Several nearby guests turned. Watching. Listening. Evaluating. Exactly as she'd hoped. Then Melissa hugged him. And loudly asked, "How have you been?" Daniel smiled politely. "Good. Still working on cars?" Emma nearly laughed. "Because technically, yes. Very technically." Then Grant arrived. Perfect suit. Perfect smile. Perfect confidence. He extended a hand. "Daniel." "Grant." The handshake lasted exactly 2 seconds. Long enough for Grant to make an assumption. And Daniel to let him. Throughout the reception, the comments continued. Subtle. Carefully disguised. Almost impressive in their pettiness. People asked if Daniel was still getting by. Asked whether business was steady. Asked whether he planned to expand someday. Emma spent most of the evening fighting the urge to answer for him. Then came the speeches. And that's when everything changed. Because halfway through dinner, the wedding planner rushed toward Grant. Looking panicked. Very panicked. She whispered something in his ear. Grant's smile vanished. Immediately. Melissa noticed. What happened? Grant stood. Excused himself. And hurried away. 10 minutes later, he returned looking pale. Actually pale. The room sensed it instantly. Something was wrong. Then another man entered the ballroom. Expensive suit. Security team. Confident stride. Several guests recognized him immediately. One of the most powerful investors in the country. A billionaire. The billionaire walked straight past everyone. Past executives. Past politicians. Past Grant. Then stopped in front of Daniel. The room fell silent. Completely silent. Then the billionaire smiled. Extended his hand. And said, "Mr. Brooks." Daniel stood. Smiled. And shook his hand. The billionaire's next sentence changed the entire room. "Congratulations on the acquisition." Silence. Then. "The board approved the final valuation this morning." Melissa froze. Grant froze. Everyone froze. The billionaire continued. $3.2 billion. A wine glass shattered somewhere in the room. Nobody even looked. Because all eyes were on Daniel. Melissa stared. Unable to process the number. 3.2 billion? Billion? Then the billionaire laughed. "You still haven't told anyone, have you?" Daniel smiled. "No. Of course not." More laughter. Then the billionaire turned toward the crowd. And casually added. "Daniel is the most frustratingly humble billionaire I've ever met." The room collectively forgot how to breathe. Across the table, Emma finally grinned.